Mr. Mitzelfelt, I'm from Hesperia, and I'm here tonight to talk very quickly and give the First District a report card. I have 4 or 5 points. Number one, you recently appointed Mr. Russ Blewett to the County Planning Commission. Russ Blewett, very recently, was voted off of the Hesperia Planning Commission for good cause. He helped to conduct smear campaigns against our candidates. He also, on at least 2 occasions, threatened city council members. Consequently, your appointment was disrespect to Hesperia. Tomorrow, I believe, you're getting ready to appoint Mr. Dennis Nowicki to the River Valley Wastewater Reclamation Authority. Mr. Nowicki was formerly a Hesperia city council member, voted off of the city council. You're putting Mr. Nowicki in a seat that was formerly held by a county member, that is somebody that lived within a county area. By putting Mr. Nowicki onto that board, you will now have at least 2 votes to control the majority of that board. You will have Mr. Nowicki and Mr. Pack, and you have very good cause to want to control not only wastewater, but it will help you control water generally in this area for large, high-density residential subdivisions and other developments. In addition, you will be appointing a member to the AQMD. I'm not aware of who that is yet. If you control the AQMD, you will be able to control the votes that determine whether or not certain businesses come into the desert, such as fertilizer plants. The last appointment, which I guess you really don't get to take full credit for, was prior to your going into office, was Mr. Jim Lindley, another former Hesperia City Council member that got voted out of office. I might add that all Mr. Lindley, Mr. Nowicki, and Mr. Blewett were primarily responsible in voting in several high-density subdivisions in Hesperia, one of them of 1,000-plus homes that ranges in the density of 8 to 10 homes per acre. The next item on my list regarding Hesperia was the County Government Center. Your staff, the county staff, made a choice to put the County Government Center in Hesperia. You have delayed awarding that for good reasons, political reasons. You have had general plan delays. You are supporting subdivisions, 200 homes in Deep Creek, which have been questioned and gone to court, half-acre lots. 97 homes on Kiowa and Rock Springs, which will be 5 8-acre lots surrounded by large acreage. Take into account that that subdivision is in the Marianas, a very, very rural area, similar to Baldy Mesa and Oak Hills. Nevertheless, you will vote to create spot zoning, and you are not supposed to do that. There is also a commercial development coming up on Rock Springs by the Mojave River. I understand the county has already had input into that, although it is on the Hesperia side of the river, another development in an area of half-acre lots and agricultural lots, another spot zone. I would like to say, to finish here, I speak on myself, but also with the opinions of a lot of people, that your grade so far in office is a failure. Your voting record shows that you not only are financially supported by the Building Industries Association, but a large number of developers. Your voting record does not reflect that you support the people that live in the First District. I have a map here of the First District for anyone that wants to see it. I want to remind you all that you control who's going into office as a First District Supervisor next November. Thank you very much.
I have nothing to do with projects in the city of Hesperia. I have nothing to do with the spot zoning you're talking about. I'm not going to stand up here and be defensive. I want to address the issues you brought relative to some of my appointments. First of all, the Mojave Desert AQMD, there is no appointment. I'm the member representing the county on the Mojave Desert AQMD. Regarding the Planning Commission, Russ Blewett he was the most qualified applicant. Russ was on the Hesperia City Council, he was 25 years of experience. I'm sorry, Planning Commission. 25 years of experience in real estate, and he also had a lot of government experience. It was valuable. He was involved in many different parts of the county, including the High Desert, in some very successful planning efforts. He was the mayor of Baldwin Park and moved out to this area. He's highly respected. When the appointment was brought up at the Board of Supervisors, the supervisors were unanimous. Each of them had positive things to say about their working relationships with him. I stand by that appointment and proud of that appointment. The alternate on the BBWRA wastewater authority has very little to do with growth in the valley, other than to respond to it and to provide the regional treatment plants, to provide the main treatment plant there near the George Air Force Base. That member is not the member. The member that I appointed was an alternate, and that is someone who attends the meetings when I can't. Dennis Nowicki was previously on that board for 2 years. He's very knowledgeable about the issues on that board. My previous appointee was was a police officer who worked in the city down the hill, and he had difficulty with the time involved with coming to those meetings, and he was also hard to get a hold of. So I just, I felt he had done a good job, but it was the time to make a change, and so Dennis Nowicki has the time and the experience and the expertise, and again, I stand by his appointment. You brought a lot of political venom in here. I don't appreciate it. I take great offense to a lot of the things you said. I can't address all of them because it was a long monologue, but you're way off base.
And I stand behind all the facts that I gave you tonight. They're all a matter of record. If anybody wants to see them, I can supply them.
Excuse me, but I'd like to get our meeting back to what we came here for this evening, and I'm not minimizing Mr. Vogler's opinions and thoughts at all, but we wanted to discuss Oak Hills this evening, and I think that's what we should get back to. And I have a question. When you were referring to the community plan, Oak Hills community plan, you said there's always room for improvement. And we hear the developers telling us that they just want to improve this area. They want to improve Oak Hills. We don't think that it needs improving. We like it the way it is. Their ideas, the developers' ideas of improvement seem to be high-density housing. That's what they think will improve Oak Hills. And so I would just like to know if you're going to support our community plan, and most specifically the 2.5-acre minimum, and in doing that you would be supporting us as residents. And that's my big question tonight, so that we don't have to be on the defensive. We don't have to be on the defensive when developers come to town or project notices come. We immediately have to go into this mode of petitions and signatures, and I'm sure you've had enough of those. We would just like to know if our community plan is going to protect us.
Well, your message is very clear, straightforward. I understand it completely, and I support the community plan. But people have a right to petition government. People have a right to apply if they want to do something inconsistent with the plan. I can't tell them they can't do that.
Absolutely,
right?
We would just like.
And I've been asked, do you want this developer to withdraw this application? And I say I can't do that. That would be exceeding my authority. And on one recent application that came to the board, that was the whole point. I think underlying what I did. I don't think that a lot of people understood what I did when I referred it back to planning, but the planning department didn't do a full environmental review on the development in Oak Hills. And so I actually, because of the community plan, I didn't have the power to approve that project.